Okay, we're back. So let's get ready. Let's go in and do some body content for John's resume. And now that we have here our keywords and buzzwords, if we can integrate those, we definitely are going to. And let's just start. So the first thing that we're going to do is see if there's any time at J.G. Wentworth where John can highlight interviewing, writing, and or verbal communication skills. And because I did the interview with him, I know that he has something he can talk about there. So we're going to go ahead and just paste that in there. Make that bold. Again, I'm just working in Pages in the Mac. You can work on any word processing software that works and can handle just some basic formatting. Okay, cool. So you can also notice here actually that we have a little bit of guideline for you here in the template. Recognizable brands, important and impactful projects, details that help people visualize what you did. So in this case, since I've done the interview with John, I know that he led the onboarding process for his office. So onboarding, if you're not familiar with that, that's when new people come onto the team. Let's just start to format this. So I know that he led the onboarding. So, for you guys might be thinking people like interns or like a brand new entry-level person. If you were, for example, working with other interns or newer people onto the team. Okay, so we're not going to phrase it yet, but let's see, led the onboarding. Probably make this one word. I know that Pages doesn't recognize that as one word. But all right, now let's look back up here at these buzzwords and keywords. Okay. So you can use maybe the word complexity here, maybe in the context of introducing them to the complexity of the business. And because details help people imagine where it was, what it was happening, you can maybe say in March of 2017. Okay, because they've got a date now associated with that. And you see that we use the word led. That's good. Because anytime that we can show that you were taking leadership in something, or that you took initiative, that you took pride in your work, then you want to show that. All right, so let's start to phrase it. So again, because this is a resume, we're not going to say I led such and such. It's going to just say led. Okay, so just before I go on, you're going to see here that I use this comma here. And so this is a form that I find is pretty effective on resumes, which is to introduce what you were doing and then put a comma in and then elaborate. So led the onboarding of, let's say led the onboarding process. 2 junior accountants beginning in March of 2017, introducing the new hires to the complexity of the firm's accounting, and I'm actually going to say accounting and analysis. Okay, because analysis is good to include, because I remember that we found that analysis is a big word in this particular job description. So we're going to go ahead and put that in this body content. Okay, and then I'm also going to say, since this is about verbal communication, let's say, what I'm going to say here is that John led regular briefing sessions with clients. But let's see if we can get some business strategies good. Okay, cool. So there is a bullet. Led the onboarding process with 2 junior accountants in March of 2017, introducing new hires to the complexity of the firm's accounting and analysis softwares, and also, all right, cool. So let's go ahead and do a second one. All right, so here you see that we have, this is our second priority skill. So let's go ahead and highlight it. We're going to put this here, and I happen to know that John did stuff like this, so that's good. Now, again, let's say that John didn't do any real research or document preparation at J.G. Wentworth, his move would be to start looking at data analysis, and then go into multitasking and general ledger accounting, and just talk about when he did those things. But in this case, he did do research and document preparation here, so let me just look at my notes here and see. All right. John has actually, he's working with the audit committee, and the audit committee puts together documentation required by the government. And we want some numbers in here because we didn't actually get too many numbers in the first bullet point, so let's work on some numbers. And so you see here that I'm not actually phrasing yet. I'm just getting the stuff going here. And so ideally, what I would say, my very first thought here is how large were these 10 securities? And I don't know, but you know, that's something worth finding out if I was doing John's resume or John was doing his own resume. And in your case, you're doing your resume. Think about how big. Secondly, other banks. So this is an opportunity for you when you have partners to talk about their names, the brands. What are the banks? Was it, you know, Federal Credit Union, or was it the IBC in China, or whatever? But anyway, we'll go ahead and start working on this one here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring up the Easel PowerWorks tool. Basically, John was working for the audit committee to do this stuff. So let's just go see. So we're going to say collaborated with banking partners. And then let's see if we have up here any words we want to work in. We got audit. Let's look at requirements. That's good. And documentation. Aggregate. Why do we use aggregate? Well, look here. Aggregate documentation. Okay, so there we go. Collaborated with banking partners and the internal audit committee to aggregate documentation verifying the source of fund payments on 10 large securities. Okay, so now you can see there that we used the Easel tool. We also worked in documentation, which is great. Complexity in the first one, and that's what you want to do, right? So you're blending all the stuff in here, and we've shown the two skills that the job description already wants in the very first two bullet points that are presented on the resume. So we know that people's eyes are probably going to go here, and they're going to go here. They're going to look at these, and they're going to go to his degrees. They're going to look at his title. Maybe they'll look at the very beginning of this, so they'll see that publicly traded, 2 billion. Then they'll start to see these skills again, and hopefully that's going to start giving them some check marks internally.